Hello VC, another round, another Mofi round. Today I want to go through some of the silver label editions from mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, and those are a quite interesting mix of releases, and we can say that this is their standard edition. It doesn't come on the 180 gram vinyl, it comes on 140 gram vinyl, and I read that what they wrote about the silver label series, because I don't want to make a mistake on the mastering chain, how they call it. It's pressed on standard weight audiophile quality RTI vinyl. Each is mastered and cut on our state-of-the-art Tim de Paravacini designed mastering chain. Okay, so now we know. I go into the quality of the recording on each disc, of course, and in general I can say two things are striking on the silver releases. Silver label releases from MoFi. One is an outrageous set of groups and recordings. It's not seldom, quite often, that you are surprised that they get the MoFi treatment, those discs, those releases, and often they really sound quite astonishing, although they are not on 45 RPM and although they are not on the heavy vinyl. Sometimes, in my opinion, they belong to the best Mofi editions all along. So let me start with one of those highlights, and that's, for several reasons, Dead Can Dance Spiritchaser. Maybe you know Dead Can Dance, some short words. When I was a young man, young boy, I was totally into the 4AD releases of Cocteau Twins, this Mortal Coil, Dead Can Dance, a little post-punky, world music, dark, goth, pop music, but as good as it gets. And Spiritchaser is one of their later, but one of their best records they've ever done. It's a gorgeous edition, and Mofi did a tremendous job on that one. As I said, although it's not on 45, it's not on heavy vinyl, this is a beautiful release. Really great. I'll show see that. Maybe you know this the singer. It's Lisa Gerard. She has a gorgeous voice, and this is one of their best releases. And the Mofi Silver Label edition is the best sounding edition of this record. Highly recommended. This one is a big one. It's great. The availability is not so good, but not that bad. You get it around 120, 140 euros. Depends on the quality, if it's VG or near mint, but this one is gorgeous. Second, same group, Dead Can Dance, Into the Labyrinth. Here nearly goes the same what I said about the Spiritchaser. Gorgeous record, gorgeous mastering, highly recommended. You know that these editions come out on Mofi is great. Really, that Mofi goes into those kind of records, those 80s goth post-punk records is great. I hope they keep those kind of records coming, because to have them in this quality is astonishing. I really like that Mofi did that. Next one, Cindi Lauper. Also 80s. My favorite song on this record is her cover of True Colors. I really like it. That's my favorite song on this record. Decent mastering, decent sounding record. I don't know if it's the best edition you can get. I really don't know. I don't know so many different editions from that one, but sounds good. Sounds really good. Availability is there. I think it's still in print. You can get it, and it's a good record. Also, a sin of my youth, the B-52s. I really was into the B-52s in that time. I'm still not so much as I have been, but still like that recording. Here goes the same, like with the Cindi Lauper. It's a good mastering, it's a good sounding record, it's okay. It's not a gorgeous highlight, but if you want to have that record and don't have it, why not the Mophie Silver Label edition? You are on the sure side. Second B-52s, with my personal favorite song from the B-52s, Planet Claire. And also here goes the same with Wild Planet. Decent copy, decent mastering, good record. If you want to get the B-52s, why not the Mophie? Now, next highlight. Although they call them jazz, I never found out why, because it's Yazoo. And Yazoo is Vince Clarke, one of the founding members of Depeche Mode, and Alison Moyet. And the interesting thing about this record is that if you, in my case, in my opinion, when I hear very early Yazoo songs, Depeche Mode songs, they really didn't age well. For me, they sound so childish. And today I can't understand why I have been so much into Depeche Mode. The later ones from Depeche Mode are quite different, but the very early ones didn't age well. Quite different here with Yazoo, with Vince Clarke and Alison Moyet. They were, in my youth, quite big. I think on that record, Don't Go, Only You, Winter Kills, all those songs have been huge hits here in Europe, here in Germany or Great Britain or France. Huge hits, all #1 hits. It was for time, it was the biggest band. And they aged very well, very well. If I put on that record today, I'm still very into it. First, this is a gorgeous pressing and mastering. And still, I've got the, I think 1.5 years ago, I bought a Yazoo remastering box, and this smokes it. This one is so much better than, for example, the box I bought, the remaster box. And so, still in print, you still can get it if you want to go into Yazoo and haven't done so far. This is for sure the record, the edition you should buy. It's, you know, those silver labels aren't as expensive as the 45, of course. It's on level with Speaker's Corner and Sam Records. So this is a sure bet if you want to go into Yazoo a little. But I never know, why do they call it jazz? It's instead of Yazoo. great recording. Upstairs at Eric's, by the way, is the name of the record. And those three, Don't Go, Only You, and Winter Kills, are classics. Some great synthesizer pop music, and the voice of Alison Moyet really is great. You probably know her. Another highlight. Heaven Up Here, Echo and the Bunnymen. This is one of their best albums, not their best album, not the best album in my opinion from Echo and the Bunnymen, but one of the best. And again, that Mofi puts out an Echo and the Bunnymen, also an 80s, not so successful group, is gorgeous. I really like them for doing that kind of music on their label, on Audiophile recordings. And again, with all of them, it's always mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. That means they have to go on secondary sources for the mastering. But what they get out of these records is gorgeous. And this also goes for the Echo and the Bunnymen, Heaven Up Here. Really highly recommended, but this one is up to now, it's hard to get. It's not that cheap if you look over at Discogs, not an easy one to get. I think it's around 140 euros, so that's quite a lot, but still, best sounding edition of this record. And now, one of my favorite bands when I was around 20, Sisters of Mercy. I actually saw them in London on Camden Palace, and they dressed up like wizards, and the atmosphere in this old concert hall, that was one of the best concerts I have ever witnessed. It was gorgeous. I really was into Sisters of Mercy. I got all their 12 inches. I remember that. Alice, Tunnel of Love, great recordings, goth rock, great voices. And here we have Floodland, later one. For me, the best song on that one, it's this Corrosion. And this is a very good pressing, very good mastering, best sounding edition on vinyl, this one, and still available. So, if you want to try out the Sisters of Mercy, probably should go with this one. You can get it really cheap on Discogs. Probably much under the price you have to pay for them at the Mofi shop, or Direct Music, I think is a Mofi shop. And now for the last one of today, and I have to do something I hate. I have to end with a record I absolutely do not recommend. Another Sisters of Mercy, First and Last and Always. Not a bad record, of course, but a terrible pressing. I don't know what Mofi did with this one. So not recommended. It's sad to say. I don't know what happened, what master they got and why they put it out. It sounds terrible. This is my worst sounding Mofi. You know what? I don't want to stop a video with that. We go back 1 second. This one is great. It's a great recording, a great record, highly recommended. So, thank you for your time. Hope you liked my video. Let's discuss and see you next time. Bye.